Hey, how you doing out there? All right. One day it's World War II. Bombs are flying, shells are flying. This Indian jumps into a foxhole. There's a Marine in the foxhole. The Marine goes up to the Indian and goes, "What are you, a paratrooper?" And the Indian just looks at him. He goes, "Ah, you must be infantry." And the Indian doesn't say a word. So the Marine goes, "Oh, artillery." And the Indian still doesn't say nothing. And the Marine goes, "Oh, you must be a scout." And with that, the Indian freaked out, jumped out of the foxhole, and took off, never to be seen again. 10 years go by, and the Indian is now the chief of this tribe. So they're all sitting around the campfire one night, and one of the tribesmen goes, "Hey, Chief, you should have some scary stories about World War II. He goes, "Well, I remember one." He goes, "One day bombs were flying, shells were flying, and I jumped into a foxhole, and this Marine told me, when the sun goes down and everybody leaves, I'm going to fuck you in the ass until your eyeballs pop out." Alright. Little kids walking down the dirt road. Old man sitting on his porch. The old man goes, "Hey boy, what you got there?" Kid goes, "I got me crowbar." Old man goes, "A crowbar? What you gonna do with that?" Little kid goes, "I'm going to catch me some crows." Old man goes, "You can't catch crows with the crowbar." Little kid shrugs his shoulders, goes into the woods, comes out an hour later with 5 crows. Old man can't believe it. So the next day the old man's back out on his porch. Here comes a little kid walking down the street. The old man goes, "Hey boy, what you got there?" Little kid goes, "I got me a roll of duct tape." Old man goes, "Duct tape? What you gonna do with that?" Little kid goes, "I'm gonna go catch me some ducks." Old man goes, "Man, you can't catch ducks with duct tape." Little kid shrugs his shoulders, goes into the woods, comes out an hour later, has 6 ducks. The old man's freaking out. He don't know what to do. He cannot believe this. But he knows one thing. He can't wait till the next morning. So the next morning comes. The old man's waiting eagerly out on his porch. Here comes a little kid walking down the street. The old man goes, "Hey boy, what you gonna do with that stick?" Little kid goes, "Man, this ain't no stick. This is a pussy willow." The old man goes, "Hang on boy, I'm going with you." Yeah, one more time. They're in school. Little Johnny's in school, and they're talking about morals. So the teacher goes, "If anybody has a story using a moral, please say it now." So little Christy raises her hand, and she says, "My dad has 6 chickens, and each chicken lays 7 eggs. And one day he put all his eggs in the back of his truck, and he was going up a hill, and the hatch opened up, and all the eggs fell all over the road and broke." And the teacher says, "Well, what's the moral of that story?" And she says, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." And the teacher said, "Well, that's very good. Is there anyone else?" And little Rachel raises her hand. She goes, "Yeah, one day I was down at the lake, and I was throwing stones at these seagulls. And I threw a stone, and it hit one seagull, and bounced off and hit another one, and they both fell into the lake." And the teacher said, "Well, what's the moral of that story?" And she said, "Always try and kill 2 birds with 1 stone." And all this time, little Johnny's over in the corner raising his hand. So finally the teacher says, "Okay, Johnny, what do you got?" And little Johnny says, "Well, my Uncle Mike is a paratrooper in Nam. And one day they had to have him lowered down out of a helicopter to save some people. All they gave him was a case of beer, a machine gun, and a machete. As they were lowering him down, he drank the case of beer. He got down to the ground, killed 63 Vietnamese with his machine gun before it jammed, turned around and killed 45 more with his machete." And the teacher says, "Well, Johnny, what's the moral of that story?" And Johnny said, "Don't fuck with my Uncle Mike when he's been drinking." Thank you.